Water balance in insects. Salt and water balance involves more than simply the control of hemolymph osmotic pressure, that the relative proportions of the ions that contribute to this pressure must be maintained within narrow limits. The osmotic pressure of the hemolymph is generally within the same limits as that of the blood of other organisms, but it can be increased considerably under specific conditions by the addition, for example, of glycerol, which serves as an antifreeze during hibernation. Regulation of the salt and water content is obviously related to the nature of the external environment. Insects in different habitats face different osmotic problems. Nevertheless, these problems have been solved using the same basic mechanisms, namely the production of a primary excretory fluid in the Malpighian tubules, followed by differential reabsorption from or secretion into this fluid when it reaches the rectum. For clarity, the problems of insects living on land, in fresh water or in brackish or salt water are considered separately. However, considerable similarity in the solution of these problems will be seen. Water balance in terrestrial insects. Terrestrial insects appear able to regulate their hemolymph osmotic pressure over a wide range of conditions. For example, in Tenebrio, the hemolymph osmotic pressure varies only from 223 to 365 mm/1, measured as the equivalent of a sodium chloride solution over a range of relative humidity from 0% to 100%. In starving Stochastera, there is only a 30% difference in hemolymph osmotic pressure between animals kept in air at 100% relative humidity and given only tap water, and those kept in air at 70% relative humidity and given saline. Osmotic pressure equivalent to 500 mm/1 sodium chloride to drink. In terrestrial insects, water is lost by evaporation across the integument, although this is considerably reduced by the presence of the wax layer in the epicuticle. During respiration, though the spiracles insects possess devices both physiological and structural for reducing the loss and during excretion. Despite these adaptations, insects that inhabit extremely dry environments may become greatly dehydrated. For example, some desert beetles can survive the loss of 75% of their body water. The critical factor for these beetles is to maintain the intracellular water concentration by using the water in the hemolymph. In other words, the hemolymph volume is reduced. To avoid the potential osmotic problems that this withdrawal of water creates, osmotically active particles can be exerted or rendered inactive. For example, ions are chelated and amino acids are polymerized into peptides. The strategy used, absorption of water vapor from the atmosphere, is a method employed by a few insects, example Thermobia and Tenebria, that are normally found in very dry condition. Interestingly, the site of absorption is the rectum, which, as is noted below, is the site of uptake of liquid water in other terrestrial and saltwater insects. Small amounts of ions are lost from the body via the excretory system, and these are readily made up by absorption across the midgut wall. Indeed, in terrestrial insects, the usual problem is removal of unwanted ions present in the diet. The food often contains ions in concentrations that are widely different from those of the hemolymph. It is probable that these ions enter the hemolymph passively in the same proportions as they occur in the diet, and excess are subsequently expelled via the excretory system. In other words, the midgut does not act as a selectively permeable barrier to the entry of ions. Role of Malpighian tubules in water balance. The role of the Malpighian tubules and rectum was investigated by examination of the ionic composition of the fluids within them, and more recently by the use of radioscopes to measure the direction and rate of movement of individual ions. The studies by Ramsay in the 1950s revealed that the fluid is isoosmotic with the hemolymph, but has a very different ionic composition. Particularly obvious is the difference in potassium ion concentration, which is several times higher in the tubule fluid than in the hemolymph. The sodium ion concentration is usually lower in the fluid than in the hemolymph, as is the case with most other ions except phosphate. The tubule fluid, which is produced continuously, also contains a number of low molecular weight organic molecules, for example, amino acids and sugars. Thus, it is broadly comparable with the glomerular filtrate of the vertebrate kidney, though it is not produced by hydrostatic pressure. The high potassium concentration in the tube fluid and the demonstration that the rate at which tubule fluid is formed depends on the hemolymph potassium concentration led Ramsay to suggest that the active transport of potassium ions is fundamental to the production and flow of the fluid. Blood sucking insects that have just fed are exceptional in that both potassium and sodium ions are actively transported into the tubule lumen. This modification to the basic plan is necessitated by the heavy sodium chloride load in the plasma fraction of the vertebrate host's blood, and by the need to remove as rapidly as possible excess water taken into the body as a result of feeding. Active cation transport is accompanied by the movement of anions, principally chloride, to maintain electrical neutrality, and by the flow of water into the tubule lumen by osmosis. Most other ions and organic molecules appear to enter the tubule fluid passively. However, active transport of sulfate and of some dyes and toxic compounds, example alkaloids, has been demonstrated in some insects. Notably, those species that encounter these molecules in their natural diet. It is clear that as the tubule fluid and hemolymph are isoosmotic, the tubules are not directly concentrated with regulation of hemolymph osmotic pressure. Ramsay, using isolated tubules, showed that the isoosmotic condition is retained over a wide range of external concentrations. Indirectly, however, the tubules are important in regulation, as the rate at which ions and water are excreted from the body is the difference between their rate of secretion into the tubule lumen and their rate of reabsorption by the rectum. As noted in section, in some insects, The tubules show regional differentiation, secretion taking place in distal part and reabsorption beginning in the proximal part of the tubule. In most species, however, reabsorption occurs mainly in the rectum, though the ileum may also modify the fluid. In the rectum, major changes occur in the osmotic pressure and composition of the urine. Generally, the urine becomes greatly hypertonic to the hemolymph, but when much water is available, a hypotonic fluid may be excreted. In the rectum, the water is reabsorbed against a concentration gradient, that is, it is an active process and energy is expended. In Sokesterog, the rate of water movement across the rectal wall is independent of the rate of salt accumulation. The rate at which water is reabsorbed depends on the osmotic gradient across the wall, and as the gradient increases during reabsorption, the point is reached at which the rate of active accumulation is balanced by the rate of passive diffusion back into the rectal lumen. That is, the concentration of the rectal fluid reaches a maximum volume. However, this value varies according to the water requirements of the insect. For example, locusts that have been kept in a dry environment and given strong saline to drink have a rectal fluid whose osmotic pressure is about twice that of insects with access to tap water. The physiological basis of this increased ability to concentrate the urine is not known. The precise mechanism of water uptake is still unclear, though models have been proposed in which water per second is actively transported across the rectal wall. There is now direct evidence that water movements occur as a result of active movements of inorganic ions, especially sodium, potassium and chloride. Ions are actively secreted into the intracellular space between the highly convoluted plasma membranes of adjacent epithelial cells, so that local pockets of high salt content are formed. Thus, an osmotic gradient is developed down which water flows from the rectal lumen to the intracellular spaces via the cytoplasm of the epithelial cells. Water may also enter the intracellular spaces directly from the rectal lumen if the apical separate junctions are leaky, as has been proposed. The entry of water into the spaces produces a hydrostatic pressure that forces the ions and water towards the hemolymph. As the fluid moves through the larger inner intracellular spaces and subepithelial sinus, active reabsorption of ions occurs across the epithelial cell membrane. However, relatively little water moves into the cells because the spaces have a low surface area volume ratio. The cryptonephridial arrangement of Malpighian tubules increases the power of the rectal wall to reabsorb water against high concentration gradients. The system is particularly well developed in insects that inhabit dry environments, enabling such species not only to extract the maximum amount of water from their feces, but also under fasting conditions to make up water from moist air by holding open their anus. The periparens membrane is impermeable to water, and under dry conditions the osmotic pressure of the perinephric cavity is raised mainly because of the presence of potassium chloride. Thus, the concentration gradient across the rectal wall is reduced, facilitating water uptake. Ramsay suggested that potassium and chloride ions are actively transported into the lumen of the perirectal tubules, which contain many mitochondria, with an accompanying movement of water. Reabsorption of ions and water occurs across the wall of the parts of the tubule bathed in hemolymph. An apparent lack of mitochondria in the perinephric membrane and leptoplasma cells led Ramsay to conclude that ions move passively across the membrane in order to balance those removed by the tubule. However, the fine structural and experimental study has shown this conclusion to be wrong. These authors found that the leptoplasma cells have a normal complement of mitochondria. Active transport of potassium ions occurs across the cells, which are however impermeable to water. Chloride ions follow passively. Water balance in freshwater insects. In freshwater insects, water enters the body osmotically despite the relatively impermeable cuticle and must be removed, and salts will be lost from the body and must be replaced if the hyperosmotic condition of the hemolymph is to be maintained. Freshwater insects can regulate their hemolymph osmotic pressure successfully to the point at which the external environment becomes isoosmotic with the hemolymph. This is achieved by the production of urine that is hypoosmotic to the hemolymph. Beyond this point, regulation breaks down because freshwater insects are not able to produce hyperosmotic urine. That is, they cannot reabsorb water against a concentration gradient or excrete excess ions. In other words, they become osmoconformous, their hemolymph osmotic pressure closely paralleling that of the external medium. As in terrestrial insects, the Malpighian tubules produce a fluid that is isoosmotic with the hemolymph but of different ionic composition. Particularly obvious is the great difference in the potassium ion concentration between the two solutions as a result of active transport. When the primary urine enters the rectum, reabsorption of ions occurs. The osmotic pressure of the fluid that finally levels the body is much lower than that of the hemolymph, but not as low as would be expected from knowledge of the extent of ion reabsorption in the rectum. This is because large quantities of ammonium ions appear in the rectal fluid. These ions cannot be detected in the Malpighian tubules, and it is presumed that they are secreted directly across the rectal wall, as occurs in the larvae of S. bullata. In freshwater insects, food is the usual source of ions that are absorbed through the midgut wall. However, in some species, ions are accumulated through other parts of the body. For example, the gills of caddisfly larvae, the rectal respiratory chamber of dragonfly, damselfly and mayfly larvae, the anal gills of cypriphed larvae and the anal papillae of mosquito and midge larvae. The role of the anal papillae in ionic regulation has been particularly well studied. In mosquito larvae, a pair of papillae is located on each side of the anus. They communicate with the hemocoel and are well supplied with tracheae. Their wall are a one cell thick syncytium and covered with a thin cuticle. Mosquito larvae can accumulate chloride, sodium, potassium and phosphate ions against large concentration gradients using the papillae. The ability to accumulate ions varies with the habitat in which an insect is normally found. Thus, Culex pepiens, which is found in contaminated water, is less efficient at collecting ions than Aedes aegypti, which typically lives in fresh rainwater pools. Indeed, normal larvae of the latter species can maintain a constant hemolymph sodium concentration when the sodium concentration of the external medium is only 6 micro-m per L. The hemolymph sodium concentration under these conditions is only about 5% below the normal level. Water balance in brackish water and saltwater insects. Brackish water may be defined as water whose osmotic concentration is in the range of 300 MOSM to 1000 MOSM, the concentration of normal seawater, with salt water having osmotic concentrations greater than those of natural seawater. The definitions are not entirely arbitrary, as they tend to describe habitats occupied by particular species. For example, larvae of the mosquito Quilcia ignoranta are found in a variety of brackish waters, including tidal estuaries and some inland ponds, but cannot survive in natural seawater. In contrast, larvae of Aedes teneorifinus, which occurs in coastal salt marshes, have a maximum saline tolerance equivalent to 10% sodium chloride. Even more remarkable are larvae of Ephedra cinerea that are found in the Great Salt Lake of Utah, where the salinity may exceed the equivalent of 20% sodium chloride, that is about 6 times that of the normal sea water. The habitat occupied by brackish water and saltwater insects can vary widely in ionic content and osmotic pressure. During periods of warm, dry weather and salinity may increase several fold. Conversely, after heavy rains or the melting of snow in spring, the salinity may approach that of fresh water. It is not surprising, therefore, to find experimentally that such insects can regulate their hemolymph osmotic pressure over a wide range of external salt concentrations. Larvae of Aedes detritus and Ephedra riparia, inhabitants of salt marshes, can survive in media containing the equivalent of 0 to about 7 to 8% sodium chloride. Over this range of concentrations, the hemolymph osmotic pressure changes by only 40 to 60%. Saltwater mosquitoes, on which most experimental work has been done, concentrate the loss of water by drinking the external medium. For example, Aedes trininochium's larvae ingest 240% of their body weight per day. The water taken in and the ions it contains are then absorbed across the midgut wall, a process that may serve to concentrate food in the midgut prior to digestion. Thus, the problem for these insects is to rid themselves of the excess ions that enter the hemolymph. As in insects from other habitats, the Malpighian tubules produce a potassium-rich fluid isoosmotic with the hemolymph, and their main function appears to be the secretion of sulfate. Formation of hyperosmotic urine occurs as a result of active secretion of ions across the wall of the rectum, which in these species is divided into anterior and posterior segments. This posterior segment appears to be the more important, secreting sodium chloride, magnesium and potassium ions into the rectal lumen. The role of the anterior segment is less clear, though exchange of bicarbonate for chloride ions occurs here, as may the reabsorption of selected inorganic and organic solutes. As a result of these activities, saltwater mosquitoes are able to strongly regulate their hemolymph osmotic pressure and ionic content over a wide range of external concentrations. In contrast to saltwater forms, brackish water insects become osmoconformers in external media more concentrated than their hemolymph. That is, their hemolymph osmotic pressure increases approximately parallel with that of the surrounding medium. Unlike the situation in freshwater species, however, where osmoconformation is largely because of increases in hemolymph inorganic ion levels, mainly those of sodium and chloride. In brackish water species, the hemolymph inorganic ion levels remain more or less constant, and the increased osmotic pressure is the result of the addition of organic components. The use of these molecules to prevent osmotic dehydration is interesting in view of their somewhat parallel role as cryptoprotectants in cold hardy insects. Thank you.